There is someone more powerful than any member of the O5, and his name is the Administrator. Little is known about the Administrator, up to the point that some doubt that he is a human at all. This is Storynomicon, and today we will explore notable articles and anomalies connected to the Administrator of the SCP Foundation. Let's start with the basics. There is no single SCP dedicated to the Administrator, and no single tale is canon. Instead, there are many tales, articles and proposals mentioning him directly or indirectly. We also can see some notes or executive orders written by the Administrator, but he rarely goes into the field himself. There are two tales explicitly named the Administrator's biography and expanded biography of the Administrator. The first one depicts the Administrator as a man of power, with no signs of aging, and notes that he has a penchant for suits, fine liquors, and loose women. It is also noted that he has a peculiar habit of keeping his hands close together, even when grabbing things. The tale also mentions SCP-262, a coat of many arms, as an artifact that once belonged to the Administrator. So basically, nothing of interest here. The second tale, expanded biography of the Administrator, is a bit more informative. It is somewhat hard to read as it is structurally a mix of Administrator's comments and a lot of reports from multiple people, so I will highlight some interesting parts. First of all, the tale begins with a sentence. Well, it all got started when I became a god, implying that the Administrator in fact possesses godlike powers. There are multiple reports from personnel on their opinion on the Administrator, and there is one agent named Fritz Willy who says that he likes to tell people that the Administrator is his brother. This name will become important a bit later. Other names like Dr. Altuklev, Dr. Jack Bright and Dr. Kondraki are also mentioned, along with notable historical persons like Napoleon Bonaparte, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, and Stephen King, to name a few. Their descriptions of the Administrator vary, from casual encounters like sharing a lunch to attempts to impersonate a CIA agent. The Administrator is mostly pictured as a tall man, green eyes, and it is noted that he wore SCP-262 when Dr. Bright met him during his retirement party. Some encounters are a bit more strange, mentioning the Administrator having one arm or emitting some bad odor. Towards the end of the article we start to get some details. Dr. S. Van calls him a famous dead god, and Agent Lament mentions that the Administrator was the original name for 01. There is an interesting documentation overview by Thaddeus Xiang, who says that every reality has an Administrator, and every Administrator is related to the local version of the Foundation, appearing, quickly vanishing, leaving only scraps of information behind. The final section of the article is called Transcript of a Chance Encounter, where we can read someone asking whether they are talking to another Administrator, to which the Administrator responds that there are no other Administrators, there are no other versions of him, merely personal touches. Finally, the article ends with another personal note from the Administrator, which I will read verbatim. When they pulled me out of the vat for the last time, they asked what it felt like to own it all. The world belonged to me. I didn't really mind it, but it gets tiring. You start out being God, but then it keeps on going up and up until nothing else matters. Too much responsibility until it becomes meaningless. So I depart. Goodbye, au revoir, so long, and thanks for all the fish. Well, at least we can conclude that the Administrator is a fan of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Speaking seriously though, it seems like he is more a part of the concept of the Foundation itself, as it seems like that almost every universe has the Foundation, and almost every Foundation has its own administrator. Moving on, let's see some articles related to the administrator. The first one is, of course, the already mentioned SCP-262, a coat of many arms that allows its wearer to manifest arms, mostly human, from its undercoat to assist the wearer. On many occurrences, the administrator appears wearing this coat. A notable article is SCP-5555, which is, on the surface, a mass grave of anomalous corpses inside the headquarters of the O5. However, as we get deeper into the matter, we discover that the administrator and other anomalous entities play a game that spans multiple universes, adding some support to the idea of the administrator as an interdimensional concept. In some canons, this idea is escalated to a point where the administrator is a dreamlike entity, such as in SCP-990, Dream Man, when he talks to the Foundation members only in dreams. Some articles, like SCP-5901, the Department of Administration, say that the administrator is just another anomalous entity that should be contained. Another tale, called Awakenings, explicitly mentions multiple administrator entities, and SCP-6665, Black Box, suggests multiple administrators can be active at the same time. The cyclic nature of the administrator is explained in SCP-6992, Nature's Cycle, where the administrator is the only entity retaining knowledge of previous world iterations after the world has been restarted. Some articles, however, say the administrator is no more. A tale called Empty Unmarked Grave starts with a literal resignation letter from the administrator, and some other articles like SCP-3499, Please Stand By, and SCP-6099, Unveiled, claims that the administrator was either killed or died, accordingly. There are also numerous proposals that describe the administrator. The biggest one, of course, is DJ Cactus' proposal, the Ouroboros cycle, where the administrator orders the construction of an anomalous weapon only to be destroyed by it, with some other events happening in parallel, of course. Jack Ike's proposal sees the administrator as an anomalous entity that must be contained. But in the Black Moon proposal, he is the one trying to oppose the Black Moon itself, acting as a good guy he is. Of course, if you'd rather see the administrator as a bad guy, there is a proposal to that. Captain Kirby proposal, where the administrator is responsible for O13, a mysterious entity he helped to infiltrate the council. Finally, there are some records, mostly from O5 Command Dossier and a fragment of SCP-8181, The Real World, that provide us a list of persons that could have been an administrator at some point. I will not dig into full details, but I'll try to give you a short overview of the list. There is F. Williams, and you heard the name before, who is probably the original administrator. The name is most commonly attributed to Frederick Williams, who founded a Solomonic Foundation in 1972, with the help of Archduke Franz Wilhelm, who is believed to be one of the first anomalous humans in the history of the Foundation. Similar names pop out both in medieval era, like Sir Ferdinand William, a demon-slaying knight, and in modern times, Agent Fritz Willy, stationed at Site 111. The administrator is not necessarily a male, because there is, for example, Agnes Patterson, claimed to be one of the original founders of the Foundation, known for her love for cats and a capability to create order from chaos. Another female administrator is called Kismet, who is known for her analytical powers and her ability to choose the next member of the O5 command. The administrator, of course, isn't even obliged to be a human. There is a spider administrator, a non-human spider-like entity that has a vague humanoid shape only with the help of the coat of many arms. These, of course, aren't all the human depictions you may find on the wiki, but I think I've named the main ones. So who is, after all, the administrator? My version here is as good as yours, but as far as I can tell, the administrator is a concept that is tightly tied to the Foundation, manifesting through people, entities, dreams, and events. Like Doctor Who of the Foundation universe, there are many administrators, yet they all represent the same thing, a guiding, godlike power that propels the Foundation forward. The power is not inherently good or bad. Sometimes it plays against our universe, sometimes for it, and sometimes it plays with it in a wicked game spanning through multiple timelines. One thing is certain: wherever there is something anomalous, there is a Foundation, and where there is a Foundation, there is an administrator.